Welcome to another episode of the Real Bar Podcast, bringing you the realest updates on everything from working out, healthy lifestyles, day-to-day struggles, and life experiences. This is the Real Bar Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Bar Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Tino Emmanuel.
Hello.
And we got a guest, Dante Mezza. What's up?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Dante?
Speaking of co-hosts, this will be technically Tino's last episode as my co-host, correct?
That's correct.
He might be back as a guest or just to help me out if I need help here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But basically we came to the conclusion that just with our personalities and the reason he wanted to do it and the reason I wanted to do it just weren't aligning correctly. No arguments or fights or debates or anything, just really differences of opinion on how we should do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good conversation. I expected, I guess, maybe it to get argumentative a little bit, but
with me and you, I felt like it was definitely going to turn into an argument because I feel like other people would too. They were just like, oh, they're gonna get mad at each other and go at it.
But we sat and just talked and said, you know, this is your vision, this is my vision.
Look at Dante
I'm
just
the
cheesing.
king of arguments.
He's pretty close to the king argument. I'm still undefeated, but
I'm looking forward to this then.
That's for
An
another day.
immovable object meets an unstoppable force when it comes to arguments. This is going to be
really
good.
what it is. But so we just wanted to touch on that briefly. He might be here again, not sure when or for what. He may co-host guest episodes. He might be a guest on an episode.
Right.
But either way, he'll be done as of this episode with co-hosting with me. I don't have a new co-host yet. I have a few people who I have a good idea they're going to, but I'm not going to announce anything like that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. I mean, and another good idea my girlfriend had is maybe I'll just have guest host on.
Yeah.
So like have a guest come on and then also have someone that used to be on the show just come and help me out for that episode. So
yeah, it's a good idea.
We'll see how that goes. But
Girlfriend, huh?
Yeah. Oh shit. I didn't want to talk about that.
Let's address that.
So I got to make sure I talk in the most appropriate manner.
That ain't real.
You
got to be you,
gotta
right?
Be real, though.
Got to be real.
He don't want me to be real. No, I'm just kidding.
He wasn't ready.
He's not ready. So yeah, if anyone didn't know, I'm dating Dante's twin sister, but they're not twins. They don't fucking look alike.
You guys are twins?
Yeah, you are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're definitely twins.
I know.
Oh, you're just trying to fucking get some more.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so I'm dating his twin sister.
So you could technically say he's dating me.
Wow.
Which it
Hey,
feels like
fact.
sometimes.
That's a feels bad.
So that's a feels bad, and I was saying it feels like that. That's fucked.
Man. This is getting interesting already.
But all right, so he's finally here. You bailed on us for our first episode.
I did.
Yeah, that was harsh. The day of.
That was real crusty.
You were what?
That was real crusty.
That was. You gotta talk closer too. You're already fucking up.
Oh, dude,
Dante's
these
got a
pillows
problem with
suck.
the couch and the pillows. Nobody else has had an issue, but just
because
him.
they're not as big as me, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, you
like
are. I could
sinking.
tell you've been
I'm
in the gym.
heavy
Shit.
shit. I'm just sinking.
Yeah. All right. So since you're the king of debates, I guess we might as well start with a fucking debate.
You could say I'm the master debater.
You get the fuck out of here, dude.
That'll be your title. There you go.
Yeah, for sure. So one debate that Tino, I think he just says this to start a debate, is he thinks Zion Williamson is a fucking bust. He's not gonna do anything in the NBA. You got anything for that? Or?
I think he'll be an average player.
He will. I can't even form words right now. I just
Try your best.
Zion is a monster.
A monster.
He is a monster, dude.
I agree. He could be
he's
in
a
Space
different
Jam. He'd be
breed.
one of the Monstars. You wouldn't have to add any CGI to him. Yeah.
This dude's a different breed, though. He's athlete of a generation, dude. Like, you're not gonna see much of Zion Williamson.
So he's like LeBron.
Look at LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he came out of high school, but Zion went to college. He played a year. And I don't know if they figured out if he declared or not, but
Yeah, he declared 2 days ago. It was he did an
recently.
Instagram story. It was some really gay shit, honestly.
if he was gonna
That's a
stay,
weird way to announce that.
If he was gonna stay again, I guarantee you that Duke would have won the national championship next year.
I don't know. I don't know if you can guarantee that after a loss like this year.
I know, but you got to look at all the top recruits, dude. Like if Zion
They
Williamson,
had the top recruiting class this year.
he was the name. Yeah, true, but not to the extent as if Zion Williamson was still at Duke. Like
I'm missing something.
him as a player, it's like LeBron, where everybody wants to go play with him wherever he goes to try and win a championship. Like look at when he went to the Heat. He had all these players who wanted to get around him, and then he went back to Cleveland.
So you're
People started
saying
going,
I mean, I don't know how the months work, but what he's saying is that if Zion would have stayed, the recruiting class would have been even better because people would have wanted to play with Zion.
Exactly.
I kind of disagree with that, only because, I mean, there's different types of players. But my opinion on it is, if Zion's somewhere and I'm a top recruit, I'm not going to be like, yo, let me go under Zion's fucking wing.
Right.
Like Ja Morant. Like, he didn't choose to go to Murray State. Like, it's not like he could have went to Duke, but he doesn't want to go play somewhere. Like, he probably could have transferred out. He don't want to go play somewhere and be the little guy underneath someone. You know what I mean? So I feel like the top recruits would still go Kentucky, North Carolina to play against him, not to play with him.
There's always that aspect of it because there's two different types of people. There's someone who wants to win, and then there's someone who wants to be the best. And you can have both, but when you go to a team with an all-star that is already there, it's very hard to be the best on that team when he's already got a name for himself.
I get what you're saying there. I mean, you accept your role at that point in the sacrifice that you can win a championship type thing.
Unless you're Kevin Durant.
Well, unless you're Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
But they had the top recruiting class this year. I think what goes very underrated is team chemistry.
That is very true.
You know, if they had the proper team chemistry, maybe they would have done it.
I agree with that, but also, well, no, actually, I fully agree with it. But I'm saying there's almost a lack of team chemistry nowadays because a lot of the
one and done
players, you're not building chemistry. Yeah. So, like, I do agree. If he would have stayed, they probably would have won. But you're not. If RJ still leaves, if not Tyus Battle,
Jones,
Trey Jones, right? Yeah. Jesus Christ, Tyus Battle. I'm a Q's fan.
Tyus Jones.
But no, it's because doesn't Tyus Jones have a brother, Trey Jones, that played for Duke?
He's in the league now.
That's why I got him confused. Trey Jones and Tyus. So if all of them would have left at the end of the day, he's not going to have chemistry with the new people that came in. So I still don't think they're going to win. I think if they all stayed, well, yeah, they're going to fucking win.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
team chemistry is definitely a huge thing because if you're all not on the same page, how far can you actually go? It's only going to be the best of your actual ability. If you got all these sports are all team games.
Yeah.
Like everything's a team game. Yeah, you can do your best at your individual position, but when you got other people playing with you in any sport, they need to do their jobs as well, and they need to do it well, and you all need to do it at the same time. It can't be one person doing one thing and then the next person doing another thing.
Yeah.
If they're both doing it really good at the same time, but they're not doing it in the play style that it's all set up around.
Yeah, I mean, in short, for me, I just don't think you just throw the best players on a team and be like, yep, they're going to guarantee to win.
Unless you're Kentucky.
If they don't fit the roles that you need them to fill
unless you're Golden State.
Right, but they all fit each other pretty well.
Well, yeah, it's because they learn to know their role. They didn't come in like, hey, I'm going to be the backup. Like, if Clay goes somewhere else, he's a superstar. He still is a superstar. Like, Steph Curry, who I think is still one of the top 5 players in the league, which I'm not getting into that debate, he's the second best player on the team. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, if you could put your pride to the side and be what you need to for your team and it all work together, like Golden State's a good example of that.
And that's why I think Steph Curry's an actual really good player because he put that, like, him being the best player aside for when KD came onto the team.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he put it aside. I think he still knows he is. I think he's not a better player. Kevin Durant's just he's got too much shit. He's too tall, lengthy.
Just all around.
He can play any position. But I still think Steph Curry can outscore him every night no matter what.
Yeah,
he just knows I don't need to. I don't think he put it to the side like I'm not the best. I think he knows he's the best and he just don't have to prove it anymore.
I mean, I think compared to the two, I mean, I don't think Kevin Durant's incomparable to Steph Curry. I mean, they're both grade A players, but Kevin Durant, I think Kevin Durant and LeBron James are on a different level than the whole rest of the NBA.
That's why he understands.
That's what I mean.
That's why he doesn't have.
Oh, you're saying they're not comparable? I thought you said
incomparable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree. All right, I got another. We might as well roll with the debates. So I know this from outside of like knowing Dante, like external information. He's a big proponent, huge proponent, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right, of you can be good at anything, like great at anything, if you have the time to put into it. Like he thinks you can be a professional, and tell me if I'm wrong, but he thinks you can be a professional athlete at any sport, professional video game player, professional car racer, if you put more hours into it than anyone else is doing it. I strongly disagree with that. Am I wrong that you agree with that?
It's to a certain extent how you're saying it.
Say it the right way.
Yeah, so explain how you want to.
genetics are very big. Like for physical sports. I'm not saying like video gaming or whatever. For
video games gets physical.
For yeah, for your thumbs. I love that shit though.
True.
But like for professional sports, yeah, you can get to a high enough level to be able to get onto a team, I think, if you put in the hours, if you put in the work, if that's what you eat, sleep, breathe. I'm a big supporter of you can do anything that you want to do. But there are people out there who are just naturally better. Gifted. They're just naturally gifted, like where they don't have to put in that work. And if they do put in that work, it just makes them that much better. It's literally like a LeBron James thing or a Zion Williamson thing. They're just naturally physical specimens, and you can't take that away from them.
Yeah, so my question is, and I know you don't got like the fucking math statistics, but what's the ratio? How much fucking time do you got to put in? Because you can't just say more than the next guy. Like that's you can't argue that if you don't have a backup. So like me, out of shape, works at MetLife, like plays a little golf, a little bocce.
Get that out of shape.
But no, that's what I'm. So now I'm gonna ask you.
Work out a lot.
So I used to. You said? Yeah. Whoa! I've been back 1 month straight, 5 days a week. Dude, when I went back to the gym, I was only benching 135. Could barely get it for 10.
Shut up.
Well, it took me 2 weeks.
Really?
You know how long it takes to get your muscle memory back? Not long, but when you first go back after a break like that, it's different. Yeah. But anyway, so say I want to go play professional basketball. I know how to play basketball.
Right.
So if I quit all my jobs, someone financially backed me, and I played just basketball and trained for 5 years, you're telling me I could probably go play overseas and get to the NBA? Like, what's the time frame? I don't understand how much time you got to put in.
I mean, I don't think you should get hung up on saying time frame.
That's what
I think you're saying though. Put in the work. Like, you're right. It could be 2 years for one person, it could be 5 for the other. But because if you're willing to put in the work till you get there,
yeah. But so you're admitting it's less time for some people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So the way we've talked about it before is you said, like I said, like, oh, if I play video games every day for 1 year, I'll be a pro. Like, I think different people have different time spans on how long it's going to take them. I don't think the argument is the more hours you put in, you're eventually going to get to your goal. I don't think that's the argument.
I think it's however many hours it takes you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're in that aspect, I agree with you with that.
All right, that's what I wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure we knew it wasn't just the hours that mattered.
Oh, no. I can't sit here and look someone in the face and be like, all right, dude, if you play football 6 hours a day.
Exactly.
6 hours a day. By the time you are 20, you will be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's not something that is like realistic. Like, who's gonna have 6 hours of time to just do? I feel like it's just if you actually put in the work to do something. Like
in general.
There's no specific
it could take you 3 years. It could take someone else a year.
Exactly.
But if you're willing to put in however long it takes, you're saying you can get there.
But I feel like also if someone works harder at it, it could lower the time of your abilities to increase and improve to get you to that next level. Like,
so how hard?
So like if us three were to say we wanted to be professional bodybuilders, we all have different body shapes and whatever. But if someone wanted to put in like 24-hour days, which isn't even realistic,
right?
Just working on your physical form, like, I'm sure that person will see more results,
quicker.
But you need rest. Yeah, quicker, like in that aspect. But nobody realistically has that much time on their hands. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like in that sense of the argument, that's the easiest comparison. Well, it's opinionated, but also, like, if all three of us decided right now, starting today, we all want to go be like weightlifters or bodybuilders. Like, say our goal was like how much we want to lift, how much whatever. Like, I feel like I'm not going to get into it because I don't give a fuck, but I feel like there's people in this room that are more apt to do better quicker.
100%.
Right?
Because I'm lazy as hell and I probably wouldn't put as much time in as you guys.
But not even in that aspect. Just like Tino, I feel like genetically, like, he's got that smaller frame. He'll look like he has more muscle quicker. Me, I have a larger frame. I feel like I might lift more. Like, we all have our own gifts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if we all had the same goal, like, it depends how you want to reach it, but like it's not like, oh, Tino put in 10 hours, Mason put in 10, you put in 10.
Right.
It's all like, I think more of it's genetic based, like how you're set up, what your frame is. Because like someone someone like Mike Augusto, who, and I'm not saying anything bad.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
before anyone roasts, nothing bad's about to come out of my mouth. Okay. Someone like Mike Augusto, who was rather skinny, like back in the day, he worked out for 2 years. Dude, he was fucking shredded. And he still holds that, like, frame on him. He's not shredded anymore, but he holds that frame. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like he had an advantage. Like Aaron Augusto, I tell him, and I know whatever, but I know we'll go.
It just comes natural.
We'll go in and out quick. But I feel like if he worked out, he would be shredded in a year. He's so fucking small. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Because if you're working out and you're tiny, you're gonna
or at least look like you are. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be as strong as you or me or Tino,
right?
But they're gonna look like it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. But the time, like, it depends. I agree with all the genetic based thing. That's just a given.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
That's fair enough. I just want to make sure I just like to make sure we're on the same page when we
understand what we're trying to say.
When we move to the next topic, or at least agree to disagree if it doesn't work out. I hate this fucking kid. All right, so next, you guys just got back from, I want to say New York City, right? New York City?
Yeah, New York City, New Jersey.
Whatever.
We were in both.
Yeah, that's people lie if they go to New Jersey. They say they went to the city. Same shit. It's for a bachelor party, so let's hear some stories that are allowed to be told. How was it? What'd you guys fucking do? What'd you get into? How much money did you spend?
I mean, for me, the most exciting part was the stadium tour, the New York Giants / Jets stadium tour.
That was the most exciting part of a bachelor party?
Well, for me, I got to go on the field.
Yeah,
catch some passes.
Trust me, everyone knows. We all saw it.
I had to make sure. I had to make sure. I'll never catch a pass in the end zone at the Giants stadium again.
You don't know that.
Well, that's right. I'm going to put in 2 years of work. I'm going to get drafted in the NFL.
Exactly. True. 2 years of work, 18 hours a day. You'll be playing there.
You need that set time. If you don't hit all those hours, though, don't worry.
Dude, his mic is fucking night and day. If he turns this way or this way, you can't hear it. That's nuts.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly. It's just because you're a normal talker, so you look at who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I do that too, but mine happens to be in the middle. So does Tino's. He can see both of us, but you can't see me. So what did you do? You get into it a little bit? Any exciting shit? Because I know you don't drink a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I drank some. It was a good time. I was just more relaxing with everybody. It was like I had fun spending time with. I haven't really hung out with a lot of the people there that much, but it was nice to hang out with them, catch up. Some people.
I mean, we got to experience the city. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. We had that. What was it? Liaison. Take us to Fort.
Yeah, we had like a bar crawl thing.
It was like Saturday night. Yeah. So it was described to me as a bar crawl. So we had someone from the city. So Brandon was able to hook that up and set it up. So we had someone take us from bar to bar, to 4 bars.
Yeah.
So from 8 to 9 to 10, 11.
Yeah.
And show us around where to go and stuff like that.
So was it like your personal tour guide, or was it
basically
was it
for
a setup bar?
Yeah, she would take us to like.
So like you guys had a private bar crawl. So you could call it that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Did you guys drink every day? Were you there 3 nights, 4 nights?
No, just 2.
2 nights.
2 nights.
2 nights for us. I actually expected everybody to drink way more than they did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my experience too. Not with bachelor parties, but like going somewhere, planning like we're getting fucked up at all times. Usually you have like one night you get wasted, then no one's really feeling it the next couple days. You know what I mean? So I had that experience. That's how it works almost at all times.
It was, I don't know. The first night we got there pretty late, so we were
already kind of gassed.
Yeah, we went to some place and Tino got his favorite beer.
What's your favorite beer?
You really can't find it anywhere in New York. So it's been 16 months since I've been able to actually have it.
No way. What is it?
Yeah. So it's called Kilkenny. It's an Irish cream ale. So it's a bar in New York City called Connolly's. And there we go.
Shit.
But it's a beer that I haven't been able to find here in New York for like the last year. So that's what I was most excited about.
It was actually really good.
You had it too?
I made Believers.
It was
Believers. Dude, Justin came back and he bought a Kilkenny shirt just because he's such a fan now.
What's the alcohol percentage of it?
I think it's only 5%.
Ooh.
It's basically like a Guinness.
Yeah. If you're giving a beer a name like that, you got to put at least 7% in
at
that
least
fucker.
12.
It is a hard name. It is a hard name.
Kilkenny.
No, I think it's only about 5%.
Is it like
Kilkenny? That's what it's called.
Yeah, Kilkenny.
Yeah.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said King Kenny.
No. Is it named after the South Park? Like,
Yeah,
no. Apparently it's in Ireland. Apparently in Ireland they serve like 3 famous beers, one being Guinness, one being Kilkenny, and something else. This is just what I was told, word of mouth, but it's not like I've been to Ireland. To
everyone from Ireland listening, don't take that to
offense. They're like, he couldn't remember the third one. Like, he couldn't name the third one.
No, we have a big viewership in Ireland, so we're sorry for that.
I apologize.
Seriously.
All right, what the fuck we got next? I heard on your trip, you, Tino, just so we know who I'm talking about, you shaved something. What'd you shave? You shaved
chest.
In a shape of what?
In the shape?
Yeah, I thought you shaved in
Superman logo.
No, you did not.
Did
dude.
you? That's fucking awesome.
You guys never?
Wait, you didn't
saw
know
that?
No, I didn't know.
Well, I didn't walk around with my shirt off.
I did. I had to at the house.
Ski time.
Was your shirt off at all during the trip?
Not
at a place where it wasn't supposed to be?
No.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I don't think they. I think they would have kicked us out of the place that we were at. It was actually more upscale bars. It wasn't like a dive bar type stuff. Like,
did you guys?
He likes to make things sound really like good.
Oh, speaking of making things sound good, I got this dude to go buy a fucking $800 computer on fucking Black Friday because I'm a good salesman.
This dude was at my house and was sitting there. Oh my god, dude, this is a nice computer for $800. He starts rattling off all this shit, and then he goes, "Yo, I'll get it if you get it." So at that point, I was like, "You know what, dude? If you get it, I'll get it."
Yeah, he flipped it on me. So all right, so I sold my last gaming computer, which was the dumbest idea ever. But I sold my last gaming computer. It was like a $1,500 computer. I sold it for $1,000 flat. So I took a huge hit on it, and I could have sold it for what it was worth.
Yeah, but you were in a rush and didn't want to listen, and you wanted to get the money so you could go to Las Vegas and have fun.
He just made that up.
I did not make shit.
I did not.
Dante, are you making it up?
No, you just wanted the extra money. I'm not saying that you needed the money.
Vegas had nothing
like
to do
the quick
with
extra money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
he's like, "Oh, I'll never play this again."
So at the time I wasn't playing video games. I was like, oh fuck it, dude, I'll sell my computer. Sold it. Probably 3 months later, August. Yeah, so I sold it in like August. So November came, and I was over at Dante's house because I was obviously dating his sister. And,
right.
I was dating his sister. And I still am dating his sister. Well, I was then, and I still am now.
The brother's like, say is.
But so it was November, and there was Black Friday. I think it was Thursday. It was Thursday, and we were looking at Black Friday ads because at midnight that's when you can go. Mm-hmm. Well, nowadays it's at like 6 p.m. on Thursday. But I was looking at this computer, and Dante has a laptop, and I was like, dude, you need this fucking computer. And he was like, dude, my shit works fine. I go, dude, I would never fucking steer you wrong, man. I go, if I had the money, I would get it. Like, you can't pass this fucking deal up.
So at this point, what's going through your head? Why are you selling? Like, do you think you're getting commission on this at this point?
I get a high.
He gets satisfaction.
Yeah, I get a high off commission. Of juicing people up, like being able to sell them something
and convincing people to do something.
Yes, and another thing I do, which is a flaw of mine, is if I get something that fucking sucks, I try to sell it to someone so we both have something that sucks. So I'll So dude, I bought the Nintendo Switch and it fucking sucked. Like, I barely used it. It just was horrible. Like, and I wanted my buddy to get it, so I would call him like every day. I was like, bro, we could play fucking cross-platform. Fucking, if you're riding in my truck, you could play it. Like, I gave him all these scenarios. I go, dude, Mario Kart, 2 fucking players. Like, bring it over to Kenny's house.
Did he buy it?
What?
Did he buy it?
No, never bought it because no, only reason he didn't buy it, dude, he was Googling it, looking up cheap deals, and then all of a sudden he was like, dude, let me just test out yours. And I was like, fuck, man, I totally sold it.
Here it is.
I don't have it anymore.
Wow.
But I get a rush off of that shit, man, because, like, first of all, I'm good at selling. I can sell anything.
Right, but if that's your friend, you're trying to give good advice. Like, you're just like, you're just a hobby right now for the next hour. If I convince you, I'm going to sleep happy.
See, that's the thing. I'm smart about it, though, so I won't buy anything.
Did you buy the computer?
It's a good deal. I got the same computer.
Because he bought it. Like,
was it a good deal or was it a good deal?
No, it was a good deal.
Dude,
I have no problem with it. Yeah. But he got
good.
to buy a monitor the year before that on Black Friday.
He got you to buy a monitor?
Yeah, he juiced me up about the entire thing the entire time.
And have either of those been bad purchases?
No, they haven't.
So you got maced.
Yes, exactly.
That's going to be a term. You just got maced.
You got
but
fucking
he tried getting
maced.
me to get the Nintendo Switch. I was like, no.
That's where you draw the line, right? You bought a computer and a monitor. Like, nah, I'm going to stop at the Switch.
No, like I just knew I wasn't interested in it. Like those things he knew I was interested in, so he was like, yo, dude, these are like really good deals, man.
Damn.
That you never knew that about me?
No.
That's one of my favorite.
It's even funnier
favorite flaws
when he's doing it to someone else.
Is it a favorite flaw?
I don't even think it's a flaw. I think like that should be my job one day, is to sell something
100%.
that I literally don't give a fuck about, because I'm still gonna tell you it's the best thing ever.
You should just start selling houses.
See, that's fake.
No.
If you don't believe in the product.
What about it? I believe in my pocket though. I believe in my bank account. What the fuck?
I think that's the problem with a lot of salesmen.
That's the problem with a lot of good salesmen too. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's true.
It is true. That's how salesmen are. Like,
I mean, there's decent ones.
Yeah,
but let's also keep in mind we're talking about our friends here.
Who?
Well, your friends that you're trying to sell stuff to.
Oh yeah, true.
That you're not getting commission on, so you're doing it for free.
I think he's taking it a little out of context. Like I wouldn't. I don't know. It depends. Like, it depends on the product. I'm not gonna like go buy a piece of shit car from a shit dealer and then be like, bro, you looking for a car? Go to fucking blah blah blah.
These seats are amazing.
Yeah, like,
you're talking about buying a bag of shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
bag of shit to your friends.
Yeah.
This is the best fertilizer you've ever seen.
If you ever wanted to light a bag of shit on fire in front of someone's house, this is the one you gotta get.
This is the bag.
Dude, I'm just good at convincing people.
It is true.
Like,
it's true.
I once, this is true.
You're persuasive.
I once convinced, and this is a true story. I was convinced a chicken, the animal, to let a fox guard the hen house. Bro,
Can we get like a graphic that comes through and goes, please?
Bro, I'm telling you, I've done shit like that. It's just what I do. But
interesting.
No, honestly,
that's a good fact to know.
Honestly, I got that reference from Shannon Sharp, and it just resonates with me. Because he's just bullshit too.
Did you get it tattooed?
What? That's saying?
That's saying.
It's hard for me to remember it sometimes.
It's not if it's on your ribs.
Maybe I should get a hat.
Yeah.
You could just have the quote on the hat.
I gotta find your hat guy. He's fucking dude must be balling.
Tino's hat guy. Tino knows
he's a good man.
Best hat guy. He gets every single hat from this dude.
That's why you were in LSU. Where's your fucking? Where's your Tiger Woods shirt?
Tiger Woods?
Yeah, he just won the
LSU
Masters.
Tigers, brother.
Dude, that was the quickest shit you've ever came up with. Honestly,
He knew.
I will give you that.
He just knew.
No, that was good. That's some shit I would do, and you did it faster than I probably would.
That was perfect.
I learned. You're rubbing off on me.
That's not a good thing. All right, so what do you guys think about that? Tiger won the fucking Masters. Anybody watch it? That's nuts.
Actually, when we were coming home from New York City, I had it playing. I didn't watch the whole Sunday, but the last two holes, because I'm like, if he does this, like, I want to be able to say I watched him do it.
Yeah.
And it was something else. I mean, if you really think like where he's, from his lowest low to this point.
Yeah.
And saying like on ESPN when they're showing like all the people saying he'll never be the same, he'll never do this, he'll never do that, and pulls this off.
He has to go down as one of the greatest.
What?
He always was.
He didn't have to win that to be one of the greatest.
I'm saying like athletes-wise, just because he went through that entire fall, and then came back and won another Masters after it. You know what I'm saying?
There's so much to
Like,
Tiger's greatness,
about.
really. I mean,
I'm not saying he wasn't ever a great because he's won.
But it adds
so
to
much.
it. It adds to his legacy.
Exactly. Like for him to be able to say that he didn't fizzle out and couldn't do it. But there was this one guy at a three-way stop that was really fucking weird. He
was jacked up.
Yeah, he was running around with his phone out. Oh my God, Tiger just took the lead. Look, he was showing random people.
He was coming up. He came up to us.
I was like, dude, I just really have to pee right now. Let me go.
What the fuck? That's weird. No, but that is crazy. I watched it up here, and I guess I don't know. I wish I had a fact checker, but it's pretty close to a fact. I guess Vegas took the largest ratio bid that they've ever taken since they've started taking sports bets. So this could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the way I heard it is I think Tiger was 14-1 or something. Like his odds were crazy.
Bad.
and some guy bet like $250K on him.
Oh.
I don't know about that one, but I do know that one guy bet 85,000 and made like 3 million or something like that.
I think it might have even been more than that if that's what he bet.
Something like that.
Whatever it is, and I could be wrong, but I think the way I heard it is the bet they took with the amount of money, which I think was $250K, ended up being the largest ratio paid out bet like ever in Vegas.
That's
so
crazy.
That's a lot of fucking money. And
I wish I was that guy.
Huh? No, dude. Yeah. That's crazy. That's like that's better than hitting the fucking lotto. But I made a bet in my group chat, which my buddy didn't take. Well, it was Cook. He didn't take it. I told him before it started, I bet Tiger comes in top 15. And Cook was like,
well, right.
Cook was like, I would bet the other way, but I'm never going to root against Tiger, so I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have won. We were going to do, I think I said $100. I think I did say $100. That would have been a good bet.
Wow.
But definitely fucking historic.
Now, here's the thing. I mean, do you think he's going to win another major this year?
Oh, this year? I think yeah. Yeah, I think he will.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I think with the momentum of winning the Masters, I mean, now confidence-wise, I think even himself, he's like,
"Where's that?
I'm back."
Where's the echo coming from? Do you hear it a little bit, or you can't tell? It's
no,
like very,
really.
It's very subtle. I'm not gonna worry about it. Everyone fucking knows. No, I think he'll win another major. I think he'll catch up to,
Jack Nicklaus.
Who?
Am I confusing? Jack, it's Nicklaus?
Yeah. I thought you, because earlier I did the same thing. I confused it with Mickelson. So I said, Jack Mickelson.
I was like, am I thinking like?
No, you're right. No, I think he'll catch up.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think he's got 18 and Tiger just got 15. I think he'll catch him.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, if he continues at this rate, he will.
Speaking of fucking golf, so I was telling you guys before we started the episode, dude, I went to Dick's after work. I had a few things I had to get done. I had to get you guys know about golf, so I had to get my putter cut down because it was illegal.
I know how not to swing.
Well, yeah. But I had to get my putter cut down, so I went from a belly putter, which is illegal nowadays. You're not allowed to use them. Not that I play in tournaments, but I like to have the proper equipment. Right. So cut down my belly putter. Had to get my driver reshafted because it was broke, and had to regrip all my clubs and my wedges. And
you were there for 3 hours.
I was there for 2.5 hours, and I ended up walking out with a new driver, a new hybrid. Cut my putter down and put like a expensive ass grip on it, and then regripped all my clubs. And it was more money than I should have spent there. But
when you're around golf equipment, if you're around for too long, it's easy to just be like, I'll just grab this and that, and
it's easy to rake up the money though too.
Well,
like,
dude, golf.
It's an expensive sport as it is, but like it's easy if you start looking at stuff and getting all the things that you want. And
the part that really fucked me up is because I used to be average, maybe not even average, like below average. I was okay at golf.
And you go out there and not embarrass yourself.
Yeah, when I would embarrass
That's
myself
the point
sometimes,
I want to
but
get to.
yeah. So I got to a point where I was decent at it, and then I haven't played in probably 3 to 4 years since then. And obviously, you test your clubs before you buy them. So I'm at the point where
is that the rule?
if you're anywhere near wanting to be good, you should test them. Yeah.
That's good to know. Shit.
Trust me, there's a lot of people who don't. But I'm at the point where I can't even tell if I can test my clubs. Like, if you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so bad at golf that I hit every club on the ground, against the wall, sky it. So the guy's like, dude, get whatever fucking club you want.
just figure it out. Figure it out.
Dude, yeah. So I literally was like, yeah, let me hit this one. Let me get a stiff shaft on that. And at the end of the day, like, I was like, bro, any club I get, I'm going to fucking suck with. So just give me a club. Hopefully I'll
make it look good.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get better. Give me a nice head cover on there. Fucking regrip these in a nice color for me. So that's what I did. I got a nice bag to show people, and that's it.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm hoping to have a decent year of golf.
I can't wait to.
I'm definitely crushing the mini putt game, but
are you one of them that bring your real putter to mini putt now?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're deep into golf.
Absolutely.
Man. That's
because honestly, the only part that I'm good at is putting.
I don't.
You don't mini putt a lot though. You don't.
I like the mini putt. I just use mini putt stuff that they.
I'm honestly hoping to win the Grand Slam of mini putts this year. So
what's that?
It's Denny's puts it on. It's you never done the Grand Slam?
Sponsored by Denny's.
You guys are fucking with me, or if you're being serious.
You've never done the Grand Slam?
They pick 4 locations in Central New York.
He's really good at fucking with me like this, and I feel like you're just going along with it right now. So
they pick 4 locations in Central New York, and if you can win,
are you being serious?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's why I bring my own putter now.
I can't tell if he's fucking with us because he's good at that too.
No, I'm being serious. Like, I've never heard of a Grand Slam.
Yeah, the Denny's Mini Putt Grand Slam.
Never heard of it.
They pick 4 locations in
because it's after their breakfast, the Grand Slam, so that's why they sponsor it.
Yeah, so they pick 4 locations in Central New York, and I think it's like, what is it, 4 weekends? Like it's a different weekend every.
Yeah, it's not consecutive.
Yeah, so it's 4 weekends throughout the summer where you sign up, you go. If you sign up for the one, you get all 4 locations, and you go, and the average score for all 4 gets free Grand Slams for the year.
That's dope.
You can't believe he didn't know about that.
Knew about that.
He's sitting here like, wait, what?
So that's it. That's my goal.
So that'd be crazy if you won that. Free Grand Slams for a fucking year.
I'd buy my own championship belt.
I would.
You walk around with that all year on my shoulder.
Fuck yeah, Grand
you should
Slam
get like
champ.
eggs. Whoa.
Oh, his shit.
Still
Eggs,
working.
Bacon,
Sausage.
pancakes, sausage,
Dude,
all on the
you
belt.
would be eating good in the neighborhood, dude.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
You could have my eggs though. I don't need eggs.
I
I
don't
can't
like
eat
eggs.
eggs. Can't do it.
All right. Next thing, I guess we're just gonna start jumping around on my list.
Start firing.
Let's do it.
So I know, obviously, all 3 of us are friends, but you guys are also friends like outside of us. Like you guys have known each other beforehand.
Mhm.
So like, what's your relationship with Tino? Like, how good of friends are you? Like, how long have you guys known each other, sort of shit? And then, what's your opinion on him being done with the podcast? Like, did you know that was because you're someone that gave us a lot of reviews and feedback off the rip.
Mhm.
So like, what's your opinion on that? Also, with your relationship, like, did you know it was
Do you
going
want
to
to
happen?
answer the friendship part and then lead into?
Or if they're
I'll
together?
just go with it. That,
Yeah.
Like, me and Tino have been good friends for
A while,
years.
man.
Like high school.
Well, before I'm
Yeah,
even thinking
that,
before
all the,
that.
like,
I mean,
it-
I'm trying to
I've
think of
known
an
each other-
actual
I
like
can't
year date,
remember.
but
Yeah.
middle school I think would be
Yeah.
fair.
Just
But
Yeah.
even probably
known
longer
for a
because
long
our
time.
parents
Yeah,
have known each other. So
in the bocce courts and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I've known him for pretty much ever, and I would say he's a good friend of mine, and we talk, and just with the whole podcast thing, I enjoyed listening to him. I enjoy listening to both of you, but there was just sometimes things come to an end because of visions that people have about things.
Yeah.
And from what
and personalities. I mean, personalities, how
personalities.
you talk, how's
That's
Right.
mainly what I was asking, not the vision
Mhm.
part. Like, is it because like he has a friend, I won't mention his name, who was like, yeah, I kind of figured that would happen anyway.
Mhm.
Did you think like
didn't
based on
think-
our personalities? First
No.
of all, why were we doing it together in the first place? Second of all, it wouldn't last long.
No, because I've talked to both of you before, and I knew that you guys were gonna start the podcast up prior to you guys even doing the podcast. It's been something that you guys were talking about for a while.
Yeah.
And you guys, I know Mason's always wanted to do a podcast, and I know Tino's personality. He likes to do stuff like this where he can talk and
Express himself.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that there would be anything wrong with it. There was just there was just the only thing that I could see like after the fact. I didn't think of anything before the fact that it would be wrong, but just after the fact, how discussions were going and how how I would say that you would just start talking and taking control of the conversation, and Tino wouldn't do that as much. And
Yeah.
I spoke to both of you guys about it.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about. So like when we get feedback, especially like from you, that was
Right.
one of the topics we talked about. And for me, like just in general, when it comes to conversations, I'm more someone that sits back and listen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't realize that I may not be
Exactly.
engaging and
And you
talking.
are a very good listener.
And Mason, he's good at talking. So
Exactly.
for me, I'm cool with sitting back
Yeah.
and listening and not realizing that I'm not like engaging and talking back and creating the dialogue. So like for me, that was
Yeah.
something that I had to try to get used to,
'Cause
but
I
I struggled with.
I gave pretty much both of you guys the same feedback whenever I would, because I would say it to you guys individually. But
Yeah.
even when I said to Mason, he's just better at taking control of a conversation and start steering it the way that he wants it to be, and you're more listening about what's going
More
on.
laid back and rolling with
and
it.
then put your input on
Mhm.
it, which I told you that you should be more vocal, pop in, give questions and stuff.
Maybe
but
take
it's
more
not-
control at times, right?
Yeah, which isn't a bad. Neither aspect is a bad thing. Like there's great qualities in both.
Yeah, there's
but
pros and cons of each way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and it's not saying it's one person's fault or the other's fault. It's not.
Mhm. And I think that's the important thing is realizing that. You just have different personalities.
Well, not us realizing it. People that are listening, because that's going to be the conclusion drawn is like, yeah, they're sugarcoating it, but like really they're both just stubborn assholes. Like we literally had no argument. We talked about it. I even said at the time when we were like talking about breaking it off, I was like, dude, I'll do this for you for the next 2 years if you want to do it. Like I'm not telling you we're done. Yeah. I'm suggesting like it might be a better option. But if you say you want to keep doing it, we're going to keep doing it. That guy said that to you. So there was no argument or like, no, I want to stay. Don't make me leave. There was none of that.
Right. And that was Mason's thing too. When he told, when we talked about it, he was kind of like, listen, like, I want to make sure that you have a platform to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you had a reason why you wanted to do it. Like, are you still going to be able to do that? Or do you have I'm not going to kick you off. Like, we're going to figure out how to make it work.
Exactly. But,
yeah, no, which is good. It's always good when there's no like animosity towards one another. Like, and you both understand, like you're both adults and you understand that there was differences in how everything was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of hit on both of our personalities there, but like speaking of just personalities in general, I had this written down and you've seen it. So like, I don't know you, I guess in depth, like I don't know you crazy well, but I know you pretty well. To where like I've seen your personality like on your good side and I'd say your bad side. What do you think? And this could just be my opinion. Do you think what? Oh my God! Someone just hit a
the
fucking
Denny's Grand
bomb.
Slam.
Who is that? Is that
fate.
That's Gardner?
We have to all.
Gardner just hit a fucking
the
granny.
Denny's Grand Slam.
We have to go play in the Grand Slam.
Yankees are up.
Speaking of Grand Slams, Gardner hits a Grand Slam and fucking Denny's is giving them out this summer.
That's incredible.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But anyway, so speaking of our personalities, I feel like me and you got a very similar personality when it comes to being quick fucking or short-tempered and getting angry very fast. But I also think it's for the same reason, so I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Would you say you get angry very fucking fast? Like you admit it's like pretty overwhelming when people are being ignorant or lack common sense?
Yes, because like I was just gonna touch on like what you were saying. I get angry quickly at certain things. Like and there's not a lot of things that get me like going really quickly.
For sure.
But like when someone will sit there like, and I know it doesn't seem like this when I'm like in the moment and I'm mad about something and I'm arguing. Yeah, exactly. I could still see the other side of someone else's like thing. But what I really want is for them to see my side of the story too. Because a lot of people don't do like they think of it one way and they don't want to look at it any other way. And I understand that being angry makes it seem like I don't see it the other way. And I think you understand the same exact thing. You just want them to understand that this is how I view things. Like there's a difference between everybody. Everybody on this planet are all different. And that's the amazing part about it, because there could be so many different views about everything. But like
and it's funny you say that, because the argument could be generating because you want someone so hard to see your point of view and they want you to see their point of view and neither of you are listening.
Right.
I think mine mainly comes from, because I understand what he's saying, but I don't think that's how mine is. Mine's not that I want them to see my opinion or side. Mine is that, and this, I mean, it's not true, but mine is that I think 90% of the time, if I'm arguing for something or towards one way, it's because I think it's fucking right.
And that's another thing that I was going to touch on. Like, if there's something that I have zero clue about, I'm not going to sit there and argue.
Exactly.
That's why it seems like someone's arguing with you over a bunch of stuff, because if I don't know about it, then I'm not going to say anything about it. But if I think I know something about it, or if I actually have some kind of knowledge about it, and you sit there and tell me something, when you
turn my mic down a little bit.
It's like a Google. You could do it like as a Google search or something like that.
Yeah.
And someone tells you to do the sky's green.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's blue. Like something like that, where like they're being ignorant and they don't want to. They think that they're right, and at the same time, we think that we're right.
Yeah.
So and I think that goes along with when they don't want to see it the same exact way. Like if they don't think about it logically or think about it in a sensible manner.
Yeah.
And they just want to believe what they want to believe, is when I get more heated about something than anything else.
Yeah. No, I think the same thing. I think, like I said, I'm not arguing something unless I think I'm right or I know I'm right.
So my question is, do you think more often than not? So are there times where you're not right, you find out, but you didn't see it at the time?
Mainly in like debates with like sports and shit, I guess, with like my boys like cooking shit. Those are mainly the arguments where I'm like, shit, like you're right, I'm wrong. But like other debates, like with like, I don't know, I can't even think of them off the top of my head, but like other debates, I usually am only arguing if I think I'm right or I already know I am. So like sports is one thing I know, like I know a lot about, but I don't keep up on it enough to like, bam, like you got a fact out of me. Like other than that, like electronics, like anything, like working out, like if I'm in a debate and have an argument with you, like I'm either telling myself I'm 100% right and I believe it in my heart, or I know I'm right and you're fucking wrong. So either listen to the way I'm saying it or just walk away from me, because I'm not gonna. That's why I say like I don't lose an argument. Like it's because I literally don't. Like I could be 100% wrong, but I think I'm right, so I'm arguing.
And that was going to be my question. Do you think like more times you think you're just right all the time?
More times than not, I am right for sure. I think people that I argue with can literally agree on that.
I hate you.
What? I'm saying literally that's my opinion, but I think it's true. I think,
and that's what I'm saying. So anytime you argue, you genuinely think you're right, and the other person's opinion is.
And I think at the end of the day, more times than not, I am right.
Well, I think it's getting kind of misconstrued because you're using the word opinion, and I think he's looking at it more of like
his opinion,
not opinion, like an actual fact. Like you can't have an opinion about an actual fact. You know what I'm saying? Like if it says that like that glass right there has 101 beads in it, which it's a candle, so there's no beads in it. But just for example, there's 101 beads in that thing, and say Mason wanted to tell me that there was 102, and I was like, no, there's 101. I literally counted them. Like, but he could sit there and think that, and well, not saying that he would do it, but I'm like, there's 101 beads in that thing. There is not 102. You can't tell me there's 102 when I already know that there's 101 in it.
Right, unless he puts a bead in there.
Right. All right.
Yeah, some bullshit. But no, he's right. Yeah. You kind of you asked me about it as an opinion. Like, do you think you're usually right? Mm-hmm. And no, like there are those arguments where like I believe I'm right because like I think I have the information, but like I said, 90% of the time when I'm arguing, it's a fact. And if it's sports and I'm like, Gardner's got fucking 11 home runs, you can't tell me fucking I looked it up, but he hit one just now and I didn't know about it. Like that's where I get fucked up a lot. But like most of the time, it's either very reliable information or it's a fact. I don't really run my mouth or open my mouth if I don't know about what the fuck I'm talking about, I would say. I mean, if anyone listening has anything to say against it, like, fair enough. But that's my opinion on how I argue. Is I argue based on factual information. It could be wrong, so come at me. I guess
I can't say that I haven't ever like argued opinionated questions.
Right.
I know I have like, but that's like few and far between. Like I barely ever argue opinionated things because I know that everyone has their different thoughts on it.
Yeah, well, if you're arguing an opinionated thing, that's where it's a debate. It's no longer an argument.
Right.
Like, those are two different things. If I'm debating with you, it's your opinion versus my opinion, and it's just whatever we think. If I'm arguing, like, I'm full-hearted, like, shut the fuck up. No, that's me saying I know I'm right. Like, I'm not debating. So maybe that's what it is, an argument versus a debate.
So you've never had... Well, I mean, because you said about 90% of the time, right?
Yeah, so there's definitely the 10%
times where like someone throws out a fact and you're like, oh.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I have 100%. Yeah, and I'll like it'll take me a little bit, but I'll definitely admit that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But maybe not at the time.
Oh yeah, 100. Like yeah.
Like what will you do? Like if someone like throws the fact and it's like you're literally wrong. What do you do?
You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
So you go with it and then you just just leave?
Because the problem is I'm already like at that.
You're committed.
Yeah,
you're at this high level of intensity.
Or like if it's something where like I'll say more times that I'll admit that I'm wrong right there. But if it's someone that like I like know or like I'm like absolutely like infuriated when we're arguing about it, I won't sit there and be like, oh, you're right, dude, because I'm already mad. Like I'm not gonna be able to flip a switch and be like.
Mine is like I'll try to flip the whole argument to something else. So
he'll be talking about beets and farms and all this. I'll be like, yeah, but my truck gets 130 miles an hour.
So like if I'm arguing with someone and like I think it's done, like we're done, and then like all of a sudden 10 minutes later they're on their phone and they looked up the answer and they're right. Hey, right fucking here, dude. I googled it. Blah blah blah. Like I would flip it right there. I'd be like, dude, you're so fucking gay that you just Googled something that we haven't talked about in 10 minutes. I go, that's more embarrassing that you looked it up rather than you were right. Like, you can just keep. So that's what I would do.
So you're good at just like flipping it. So it's not like admitting you're wrong. You're just like, I'm gonna make you feel stupid.
Dude, I can work at Burger King. I could flip anything, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, dude. Yeah, no, I flip shit for sure. I don't like losing arguments. That's why, like I said, I don't.
Even when you lose, you don't like losing.
Even when I lose, I'm gonna fucking start a new one and win that one. That's how it goes, man. But how do we even get on that? Oh, we were talking about Dante. So you do think you have a short temper when it comes to that?
Yes, 100%. Like a lot of other things, I don't though. Like I can sit there and tolerate so many things, but like you said, that is one of my triggers, and like I don't even know what else. Like I would really need to think about something.
See it when it happens.
But I know that for a fact that that's one of my things that gets me going.
What about you, Tino? What's one of your biggest like pet peeves, just in general? Not even something that makes you like mad, just something that just whatever, just
biggest pet peeves
rubs you the wrong way. Yeah.
I would say people being entitled.
Thinking they're entitled?
Yeah.
Or
like,
acting?
Or acting entitled.
Yeah.
I would say that's my biggest thing. Like thinking like, okay, well they deserve this thing, but they don't work for it. They just think that they should have it because they are who they are, or deserve certain things for whatever reason.
But do you not like people that act that way, or people that are? Because there's people that are entitled to things just because they have more money than you. Like they're gonna get it regardless if they should or shouldn't. Like there's those people, and then there's the people who aren't really entitled to shit, and they act like they are. So which one rubs you the wrong way? Like I feel like if Kylie Jenner walked into Rome, New York right now, and Tony's on Jay was closed, she's gonna go in there and get a couple slices, guaranteed. That's entitled. That's a crazy opinion. That's entitled. But then there's also like so and so whose dad's a doctor, and you know what I mean. Like which one? Because one of them really is entitled. Like she's gonna get what she wants, Kylie Jenner. Then there's the person who like they don't really deserve shit, but they're gonna get it.
I mean, I think both is the same thing. Like for me, like Kylie Jenner thinking that like just because she's Kylie Jenner doesn't mean. But
she doesn't have to think it for it to be true, is what I'm saying. So like in her mind, she might not be like, "Hey, I'm entitled," but if she was driving,
I'm not saying people realize like people not realizing it, but acting.
I think it's the same exact thing where he doesn't like either way of it, like where like it, or maybe you're looking at it how like they actually like they sit there and know that they can get what they want, like that, or are you talking about like?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like.
Or are you talking about like if they are actually like entitled to like you don't get triggered by someone who can get whatever they want, who doesn't act like that, but
okay, so I tried to think of like an example. So like say a couple's married. Sorry. Okay, someone's married, like the trophy wife type thing. Mm-hmm. They think, okay, say for example she wants a car or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
you should get that for me just because I got you. Your wife, or I am what I am.
I understand what you're talking about now.
Yeah, so it's more he doesn't like the people who think that they deserve the shit, not the people who don't think it but get it anyway.
Pretty much, but I feel like he still doesn't like the people who can actually get it. Like
that's not their fault though.
I understand that's not their fault, but it's still it's not like those people who are like snobby and know that they could. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I feel like it's just like
snobbiness to it.
As a whole, people who are entitled or something that.
Okay, so you brought up the Kylie Jenner thing. Yeah. So to try to give me an example, okay, we'll use pizza slices because that's what you said. Okay, yeah. Tony's is closed, right? Yeah. She goes up, hey, I know you're closed. I want 2 slices. He says, we're closed. I'm sorry. She says, I'm Kylie Jenner. You need to get me these 2 slices.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she thinks she deserves them because she is who she is.
Right. Okay. So you're saying what you were saying.
What I said, yeah. All right. I'm getting too confused. So
that makes sense. No, I understand. The people who think that they should get it because Kylie Jenner is literally the perfect example. If she wants to get something, she's going to get it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't have much more on here. Oh, shit. I skipped the top thing. All right, so you guys are 2 of the fucking, I would say, Rome's finest, not talking PD, beer league athletes, man. I would say you guys got to be almost in the Hall of Fame for recreational activities.
I have to be.
I would put Dante first ballot.
What's up with that? You guys just enjoy him? Like, you like to stay in shape?
I like keeping busy, man. And, a lot of the times I'm not playing, rec league stuff. Like, there's a lot of tournaments and stuff like that with softball or, bocce. I don't just go down and play bocce like a lot of people. I just play in, the World Series or Cleveland. I only play in tournaments and stuff like that. But there is beer league stuff. And, yeah, I want to win those things, but I can have fun at the same time when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with friends. Everybody who I play with, I like playing with. I'm not going to sit there and force myself to go to a recreational league and play with someone who I'm not going to enjoy myself with.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those times I need to enjoy myself to be able to get myself to go out and do it. And it's just during the summer and stuff, it's nice out.
Yeah, I mean for me, there's a lot of aspects that go into it. For me, by nature, I'm just competitive. Mm-hmm. So anything competitive, I like doing. The aspect you were talking about with friends, if I can do it with friends too, that's awesome. I like being around people. I like being social. So it's another part of the social environment. And for me, I like keeping active. So I don't like just doing one thing. So I won't just play softball all year. I want to play volleyball too. Bocce tournaments, that's a given. Flag football, I try to stay active with many different things.
Fair enough. Yeah, I personally obviously don't really play any at all, recreational sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought I was curious as I don't know why people do it. Like with bocce for me, I guess that's recreational. So maybe I do play something at recreational, but Tuesday night leagues or what, it becomes a burden at a point. I go with people I like to play with, like Dante said, I enjoy going,
mm-hmm.
but at some point it's just it's another activity that's fucking scheduled and I feel obligated to show up to. So it's not that I don't want to stay active and get healthy and have fun.
Right.
It's that I know eventually it's gonna fucking piss me off that it's Tuesday night, 7:00. I got softball.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it doesn't feel like that for you guys. Yeah.
No, and it does get like that for me sometimes. If I overload my schedule, say Monday night flag football, Tuesday I got to go to 12 North and play volleyball. Then Wednesdays I've got softball. There's nights where you just need to relax, calm down, and just do what you want. Not be on a schedule and time. I have to be here. I have to be there. Right. It does sometimes, but I enjoy being athletic and
same for you.
The competitive nature.
It never feels like you have to be there and you're mad. It's tying up your schedule.
The only thing I can compare it the best this way. A lot of people enjoy weightlifting.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. The only reason why I weightlift is because I've had to do it for so long, and it's been a part of my routine and schedule. And I feel for me to feel good, I like to weightlift just to make sure that I can maintain myself instead of withering away to nothing.
Yeah.
But with the recreational sports, I enjoy that because I just have fun with everybody who's out there, and I go out there to win every time, and it's and having fun doing it is just a bonus. So whenever I'm there, I don't feel like it's a burden or anything. Yeah. And I usually keep my schedule pretty clear, I guess.
And for me, it fills a void. I've always played team sports, whether it's from elementary school to middle school to high school to college.
Yeah.
So I've always been involved in some type of team aspect and some athletics. So once you graduate, from college or whatever you went to, you're looking for something to kind of fill that void that you've had your whole life. A good example of this would be, Dwayne Wade's played how many seasons and he's retired now. So it's okay, now what do you do? That's been your fiber. That's what's made you your whole life. Now, what do you do?
I think it's a little different though for that.
Well, yes,
I know. For the reference
I'm sorry.
you made, he isn't some D3 athlete. Not that D3 is nothing. I didn't play any sports, but he's not some D3 athlete that's back in their hometown with nothing to do. He just finished playing a professional sport, and he's probably gonna go be an analyst or something. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's more to even stay on your point and say you're right. It's more of people who didn't make it to the next level. Not saying you guys ever wanted to be a professional track hurdler or a football player, but since you guys played in college and kept competing for longer than most, and then you came back, it was embedded in you, rather than someone that kept going. If you played D1,
and does it as a job.
What?
And does it as a job.
That's what I'm saying. If you played D1 or even went farther, overseas or NBA or whatever, I feel when you're done, you're done. But when you go D3 or you're done after high school or college, you're like, fuck, I want to like keep. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I used Dwayne Wade as an example, but I know he talked about like, well, life after basketball, and he's like, I'm gonna need therapy.
Yeah,
because it's been my makeup for so long. I've known it for so long that it's like.
And honestly, I've never like after football in college, I've never felt the need or want to go back out on the football field.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's not like I never like thought about it or anything, but like if I played flag football, yeah, that's fine. But my most intense in any sport was with football. So like I was like any other sport, I was more relaxed, but football was the sport that got me like mentally wanting to rip someone's head off.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of athletes, and we'll get this wrapped up, but speaking of D1 and D3 athletes and shit, what's your opinion on should college athletes be paid to play?
I do.
You do what?
I do think that they should be paid
at what? Just the D1 level?
At any level. It's a full-time job. Like it literally is full-time. So like for example, with my schedule, we would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We'd have film, and then we'd go to breakfast, and then we'd have class, and then we'd have like training, like weightlifting or every single day, and then the next you would have practice, and then after that you would go to dinner. Some people may have night classes, and then you'd go to watch film again. So by that time it's 10 o'clock at night and you're exhausted because you're doing all that stuff. So there's not really any time for any of these college kids to actually get a side job, because even in the off season, it's the same exact thing. In the off season, you're doing so much stuff that I actually had friends quit the team because they needed to get a job to be able to still go to the college.
Yeah, I do disagree with that for sure. In a small portion of it. I'll probably take some flack for saying this because I take flack for everything I say. But I think D1 athletes should be paid. I don't think D2 or D3 should be paid. In my opinion on it, not that I think it's right. Like, I don't think that's right, but I do think based on being logical, it makes sense. D1, you have a potential to go professional. D3,
you have a potential to go professional in any at any level.
For sure, but if you look at the statistics, you've got a better chance going for D1.
Yeah, because with there's not much of a difference between the levels besides speed and.
Well, it depends on the sport. For sure.
Yeah. 100%.
So like football. I mean, there's a big difference between D1 football and D3 football.
Not entirely.
You don't think so?
There is.
See, I can't speak from experience on that.
Neither can he. He's never played in a D1 college football game.
I've played with a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying. You don't.
But
know
at least
both
he's played
spectrums.
D3.
It's all about the speed. So like you could have people who are like massive. Like when I played, our linemen were 6'8", and they were
couldn't
like
move.
300 pounds. Like they were big boys, and they could play. It's not like they couldn't play, but like the speed aspect of it is a big portion of football. So like those people coming off the D line, they're a lot faster. These O linemen at D1 schools in the National Football League are running they're running fast. They're not really slow by any means, but like compared to everybody else out there, they're a lot slower. But they could be quicker at a lower level, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. That's not really where I was bringing my argument, so I'm not going to get into that one yet. My argument was based on the pay. Maybe there isn't a big difference. I don't know. I'm not speaking on that.
I'm not saying that there isn't a big difference, but it's more comparable than you actually think.
Yeah, which is understandable. But just based on literally facts, which is all I'm talking about, and his could be a fact too, but I'm saying based on the pay, facts, statistically speaking, D1 players have a better chance to go professional in their sport.
100%.
So those players are doing that because it's a career choice. Like, not all of them. There's a lot of them that do it for fun just because they're good enough to do it. But a lot of them are there because, bam, I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go to fucking the NBA. I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go to the NFL. D3 players, that's more of like a hobby. They want to stay active. Like, they're competitive as fuck. They want to win. They want to get a championship. It's still a national championship. But, like, they're not getting as many looks. Just that's factual. They're not getting as many looks from professionals. So, like, at the end of the day where you say, oh, well, they can't get a job and it's a full-time job being an athlete, that's true. But the lower level you are, I think it's more of a choice. And I know there's a lot of D3 athletes that are probably going to listen to this and be like, that's bullshit. And I'm not an athlete. I never was, so I'm not going to speak on that. But it's just my interpretation of it.
It's a choice for everybody. Everybody can make that decision to go
Well, no, not really. Like, not
well,
with the rules of how long you have to stay in college.
So
you know
let me
mean?
put this into perspective for you. I had offers from higher division schools, but I wanted to play quarterback, and that was my choice. I wanted to play. I didn't end up playing quarterback all 4 years. I only played my first year, but still, they wanted me to go there to play quarterback. I would have been switched to like a receiver or something like that if I went anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's everything's a choice, no matter how you look at it, because a lot of these players who are at lower level schools, they could have been looked at somewhere else, or they could have weighed their options and been like, I would have never seen playing time at a higher level, and they would realize that. And if they drop down to a lower level, then their athletic ability or their hard work that they put in would help them see playing time more.
So if that's the case, do you think the athletic abilities
absolutely
decrease at each level then? If they couldn't play at a D1,
I think the athletic
play at a
ability
D2.
is
There's difference in.
It goes back to the genetic standpoint too. Like some people are just naturally.
So when I look at the argument of athletes getting paid, I look at it from a Division I standpoint, as in look how much the universities are making off of the athletes.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm looking at it more of. Well, that's a big thing, I know. But I'm looking at more of a, like, look where this athlete could be if they didn't have to go to school. Like the college basketball 1 year rule, the college football 3 year rule. If you're going to make them go here, fucking pay them. Because a lot of these guys could be gone playing professional. Yes. That's my argument. I know the colleges makes a lot of money.
And you're 100% right in saying that.
That's where my argument comes from. That's why I'm saying, like, D3 and shit. I understand it's the same shit. But at the end of the day, like, if you want to stop playing D3 football and go get a job, you can. If you're you have to go to college for 3 years to go to the NFL. That's
what they're trying to do.
That's
the dream. That's everyone's
dream. But that's what I'm saying. But
you
can't tell me I have to go here and not pay me. D3 athletes, they might have the same dream, but they're not being forced to play football at a D3 school for 3 years. Like, no. So that's why I was breaking them up into tiers. I have nothing against D3 sports.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I have no solution to it. I mean, I think you bring up the good point, as in you can't get a side job and make some money so that you can live on campus, whether it's you know what, practice is late. Like, what was it, the UConn example? Someone brought up a UConn team example where by the time they got done with their game, the cafeteria was closed, had no money to go buy fast food or something like that. You know, I think maybe you cap it at a certain point. If there is, like I said, I don't have a solution for it, but maybe you give them some type of a stipend.
There's like ways around it though. Like when I was in school, one of my good friends, he was an amazing athlete. He was a Division I athlete who just got caught up in a shitty situation and got put to our school, and he had a sponsor family, which technically is family who will pay for your stuff and everything and like help you out, which is dope. Like I like to see that because but it could be
takes care of the athlete,
right? And that's the thing. If they're there for like athletics or something like that, they should be, because a lot of these people, like you're saying, at Division I, they're not going there to get like
an education
to be like a
doctor,
exercise science or a doctor or something. Their end goal is to make it to the league.
Yeah, and
that's a lot of those athletes. And but honestly, they should be paid. But like, there should be like levels to it. Like,
yeah, like a D3 athlete shouldn't make what a D1 athlete's making.
100%. Because
or a D1 basketball number one recruit shouldn't be making what a fucking walk-on swimmers make, something like that.
I feel like it should be like a contract.
And that's why it's so tough, because you have to put all the sports into it afterwards. You know, like what we're thinking is like basketball and football. Right. But then you've got all these other sports, like same thing with track.
Because everyone's going to want something after. Every athlete in any sport is going to want something as soon as
someone gets it.
Exactly.
Because they're going to be like, well, I'm putting just as many hours in this sport too, but I can't work. You know, what about
something I just fucking thought of? Is someone that walks on the swim team a swim-on? I'm 0 for 2. 0 for 2 from the line.
No, I think you're 1 for 3. You said 1 and I didn't do that. I can't remember what the second one was.
All right, 1 for 3. Hey,
1 for 3, which is good batting average,
baseball,
honestly.
I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Truth.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting free throws, I just lost the game.
Truth.
Right.
But yeah, all in all, with the being paid, I think athletes should be paid. Absolutely.
Fair enough. I don't really got shit else. I think that's a decent place to end it. Either you got shit you want to talk about that I don't have? I'm down to talk about whatever.
No, I can't.
You good?
I'm good. Whatever you want.
Bingo. All right, let's wrap this fucker up.
Wait, something stupid quick.
Huh?
Something stupid quick.
And you got to pee or fart or something?
No.
I thought you were going to fart.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he
this
was.
Is the perception of me.
All right.
No. Moe's or Chipotle?
Oh.
Chipotle.
That's what I meant by something stupid.
That's not stupid.
Whatever one's closer.
If they're both the same distance, what are you choosing?
Chipotle.
See, now this is the one thing that I will argue based on opinion because Chipotle is better.
Yeah, that's an opinion, so there's no argument.
There's an argument.
That's just a debate.
If you tell me that Moe's is better, I'm not gonna.
Mason,
what?
Please say you like Moe's better.
I think Moe's has better things, like their
more
queso.
Things,
like they have more.
Is it better than Chipotle?
No, because I like fresh food and it's just a little more fresh. At Chipotle.
I really thought I was gonna get that.
But
good argument
if Moe's is 5 minutes away, which it is, and Chipotle's 25, I'm gonna get Moe's 9 times out of 10.
Oh, that's another thing. I love to play devil's advocate sometimes too.
What's the other thing?
I like, just like if someone's like, sometimes I like to pick people's minds, like why they think a certain way. So
I do that a lot.
Like I'll say the opposite, even if I do agree with them and believe them.
I would love to know why people think the people who think Moe's is better than Chipotle.
Yeah, I would
like
too.
to think. What about it though? It's just opinionated, so you can't really.
I know, but I would like to hear. I would just like to hear him argue it. That's why.
If anyone out there wants to debate that Moe's is better, just let me know, and I will tell you that.
He's available on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and.
No, I don't got Facebook or Twitter.
You guys eat Core Life? You ever have it?
No,
yes.
I've never had Core Life.
You like it?
I enjoy Core Life.
I think.
I feel good after I eat it.
I think the lady that does like their promotions is coming on here pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Pauline or something. Pauline Pocket Fit is her Instagram. Yeah. She'll be on here soon, so that'll be we could have some food debates for that one.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
But
Will she be bringing in free samples?
Yeah, if she's
You can't
listening,
speak for her.
If you're listening, bring some stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. All right, Dante, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was a good time.
Tino, thanks for co-hosting and coming and helping me for the last 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
You'll probably be on again. Obviously, I'll text you. We'll do something.
You let me know if you need anything.
Word. You can find this podcast on Spotify, fucking SoundCloud, obviously. YouTube will have.
And
a
it's just
video
SoundCloud.
version.
For those of you that get confused, it's not fucking SoundCloud. It's just SoundCloud.
Yeah, no fucks given. It's on SoundCloud. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube for the video format of it. We're on Stitcher. iTunes is still fucking us. It's on Google Play. It's all over the place. So keep listening. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. I'll find a co-host soon. If not, I'm riding dolo. And like I said, Dante, I appreciate you coming. And this has been The Real Bar. So everyone have a good week.
Have a good night.
Later.
It's so